Hello, everyone. Welcome to our QuickBooks Online Chapter 4 video lecture. This chapter focuses on banking. We'll look at the different type of banking transactions that can take place using the QuickBooks Online software. So we'll look at things such as the check register, money in transaction, money out transaction. And again, our focus is on how to do a variety of banking transaction utilizing the QuickBooks Online software. So banking is going to be our focus. Okay, so we'll take a look at what's known as the check register, which is used to keep track and record all of our different type of checking transaction. So I'll go to the QuickBooks software, and based upon the instructions, we'll go select on accounting and then click on the chart of accounts. So we'll go to accounting, chart of accounts, and once we're in the chart account under the action tab in the far right hand corner, I can click on view register. And under view register, you see the information such as the payee account, memo information, payee deposit, and the balance. So this is the information we're able to view under the view register section. And we'll do some actual transactions. This is just showing you that information again under that view register transaction. Okay. So let's go on to the next part of it, and we'll take a look at some money in transaction. This could be funds coming in from investments, from the owners, cash received from loans, interest earned, other income such as rental income, which is, so when we talk about other income, that's income from a source other than your principal business activity. But we also look at income that could be earned from providing goods and or services. So we'll see how do we look at transactions to our customer sales. We'll handle those through the sales receipts or the invoices. Okay. So our next action item, we want to add an actual bank deposit. I've gone through these transactions already, so some of these for me would be a duplication, but practice makes progress. So from the QuickBooks software, we're going to click on the plus new icon, so which is here, and then we'll click on bank deposit. Again, plus new, then click on the bank deposit. And we're going to make sure that it is here. You see your checking account. So we're not going to actually do this, but we'll just look at the different features. So from the bank deposit, again, you would indicate the checking account that it's going into, put in your deposit date. You can say who was received from, what account, description, payment methods, etc. This is all information that you see on the bank deposit. We're not doing one just yet. We're just looking at the information up under the bank deposit section. So I'm going to cancel out of there and go to our next tab. Okay. Did it move? All right. So then with the money out, that's for doing things such as paying bills, writing checks. We're going to focus on the pay bill features when we get more into chapter 6 and chapter 7. But we'll take a look at a few transactions here. So there could be expenses. So if I go back to the QuickBooks software, let's say this is an actual transaction. We're going to cancel this. Like it's an actual transaction. Okay. So going to the QuickBooks software again, I'm going to close out my bank deposit. Click on my plus new and click on expense for the actual payee. We're going to choose the supplies company, and for the actual account to use, we should use account 2100, which is our Visa credit card account. My Discover's out there. We go to our Visa credit card account. You would put in the transaction date as being 111. And of course, the payment method is going to be by credit card. So that's 111. Payment method is by credit card. We're going to purchase some office supplies and software. So in the category, which I have already based upon the vendor, office supplies and software, and I've done the transaction already, but I'm going to change the amount. The description be purchase of software. So let's change our description to purchase of software as our description. I can spell correctly. I forgot the R. There we go. Purchase of software. That's better. And the amount is going to be $13. And if it says billable is checked, which mine is checked, they told us to uncheck that box. I'll uncheck the billable box. We'll leave the customer blank. In the memo section, we'll just type in purchase of software. So again, leave the customer blank. In the memo section, which is down here, we'll type in purchase of software. And then just click on the save button. So this is how you would enter an actual expense. Go to the plus new icon, click on expense, and then type in the necessary information. It'll tell you that that transaction has now been saved. Okay. So this is just a view of that. But again, we went through all this steps. So what I do like about it is that it's going to number the steps for each transaction. So even when you're going through this, you can make sure that each of these items have been actually completed. Now to actually see that transaction, we can go over to our transaction journal, and that should show the actual transaction. So from the expense window, which is still open, we'll select more, and that more should be up top. If I can get up top. Oh, I'm sorry, the more is down here at the bottom. So we'll click more, then click on the transaction journal. And it will show the actual journal entry that we just made with the purchase of the software. So again, my error, the more button is actually down at the bottom of the screen, but we did see the actual transaction. Okay. And so they're going to do another transaction for the office supply company. So let's do that. So we'll again click on our plus new button. Under our vendors columns, well, so our plus new button, under our vendors column, we're going to click on check. So this will be actual payment. We're going to pay the actual supplies company. And notice that when you choose that company, it should do an autofill. See that? It does an autofill, put in their mailing address for that company. The actual date is going to be 1/13. It's our date. This is our first check for this chapter, so the autofill for the actual check number, just check number 1. The category again is going to be office supplies and software. So that category here is going to be office supplies, but you can just start typing it in. It should come up. Office supplies and software. For our description, just be office supplies, and the amount is going to be $99. The billable box should be unchecked again. We're going to leave the customer field blank. And then under the memo section, we'll just type in office supplies in our memo section, which is here. And that would be it for our expenses for right now. So I'm going to click here and do a save and close to close out of that feature. Okay. And again, this just gives you the different steps, showing you from steps 1 through 2 through 11, the different boxes you're going to fill out in order to complete that information. So if we look at the transaction journal again, like we did before, it'll show that transaction. So if I click on the more button, because I already, well, I closed out of that, but if I clicked on the more button, it will show you the same thing we see here, which is the transaction journal to show that last transaction. So we can go back if we wanted to. Well, we're okay. It's the same process. Okay. Next, how to connect banks and credit cards with QBO. So of course, we're doing a sample-based company. So we're not going to actually connect any of our banking information to this QuickBooks, but if you are using the actual QuickBooks Online software for your business, you are allowed to connect your bank with the QuickBooks software. Okay, so we'll just kind of go through the process of how that's going to be done. We will stop there and come back with a second video to discuss the chapter 4 information. So from your navigation bar, we're going to go to banking and then click again on banking. And we don't really want, there's a video, but we don't want to see the video right now. So we're going to click on to connect account. So sometimes the language could be difficult. We have the link account, which would be the same thing. And that would take you to the actual different types of banks. And so again, if you had an actual bank, I'm sorry, if this was your actual company and you want to connect your bank to QuickBooks software, you would go about taking these steps. And what it does, it allows you to actually download information from your bank into the QuickBooks software. So we're not going to do that, but we are going to import some actual information. We have a file that we're going to import next into the QuickBooks software. Now I'm going to show you how to do that when we get to this section, but I'm going to conclude this video for now and come back with a second video showing you how to import data from your bank or from an actual file into the QuickBooks software. Stay tuned for part 2 of our Chapter 4 QuickBooks Online video lecture.